Hey Steve, you getting up now out of the sink? Oh yeah, stretch. You want to be an out the door over there more, Mitt? It's 9:30 in the morning. I'm looking at the image of Mount Washington where the wind is calm this morning. We've got a Steve, we've got a Mitt, and I think slowly emerging from his slumber is one T-Rex. Ready? Let's all go down the stairs. We have so much to do today. It's a Friday. We got, what, 2 more weekends before autumn? Oh boy. Hey, where'd everyone go? Whoops. I wasn't recording when we went out the door, but trust me, Rex went out barking, and I said something like, oh yeah, summer ends, climatological autumn begins on September 1st. That's just in a couple of weeks and a couple of days. So we're relishing this weather. It doesn't feel like summertime this morning. It's, 68 degrees here, about 9:30 on Friday, August 15th. What is that noise? Yeah, Mitt's out here with us. So we've got the whole gang. Steve is over by Steve's Rock. Mitt's going to go over to Mitt's patio. I've got my noise-canceling microphone on. I just showed the summit of Mount Washington, and I was really intrigued at Mount Washington this morning. Here's the the summit conditions as of about, is it already 9 o'clock? The wind is 0.2 miles per hour on top of Mount Washington. So essentially it is calm up in the sky in northern New England. But we have a breeze from the northeast here in the Boston area with pretty much the only cloud in all of New England. There's the cats. It's a special day. We've got so much going on today. The weather forecast is the easiest part. The and more from all the stuff that happened yesterday. We were in the zone for sunset downpours and gully washers. And yesterday, they put the concrete in on all these forms. Now they're taking the forms off, and we're getting to see a bigger outline of the infrastructure of the big dig. We're going to have some time lapse of that. We're going to have a time lapse of this thunderstorm that came in and then just stalled south of us for about 2 hours yesterday. A lot of action yesterday. And this morning, talk about the wind, the regional roundup. I put on the 3 colors here. Black would be the temperature, and blue would be the dew point. In far northern New England, temperature and dew point were in the 50s this morning, and in southern New England, temperature dew point in the 60s. Still a dew point near 70 on Cape Cod, and the wind, the gusts are in red, and we're gusting 15 to 25 miles an hour at the south coast of New England. So there's more wind in southern New England than there is on the summit of Mount Washington. That's what happens when these strong high-pressure systems come out of Canada and go across northern New England. It broke the heat with some major thunderstorms yesterday. Did you get one? Again, it was like the lottery, but they showed that purple blob over near my house, and we got the purple blob. Mitt is on Steve's chair. Do you have any problem with that, Steve? Mitt doesn't need a string because Mitt will not take off. Mitt's chill, and he's going to be chilling as that thunderstorm came in yesterday. And there's T-Rex chilling. So who got the most rain? Very close to my house. Rainfall lottery. First, the storms fired up in Maine and New Hampshire and on Cape Cod, believe it or not. So I was watching Maine and New Hampshire and Cape Cod and thinking, oh, we're not going to get anything. In parts of New Hampshire, more than an inch of rain. No reports of any flooding there. There was some pretty intense wind with some wind damage in parts of, I think, Portsmouth, New Hampshire, near Hampton Beach, and in parts of Maine. Was it Waterloo, Maine, came in with more than an inch and a third of rain. And then you move south. Cape Ann did pretty well with these showers and storms that kind of reorganized right about 5 o'clock. They moved off the coast of New Hampshire and Maine, and I could see them from here. And you get the 0.7 there around Rockland, Massachusetts, and Rockport, Rockland, Massachusetts got a lot more than that. The Boston area, just about a ½ inch. And then the storm really slowed down and ramped up as it went by my house. And the most rain of anybody yesterday, the jackpot, 1 or 2 towns over from here, 2.36 inches in Milton, Massachusetts, of this storm that came in at sunset and just stalled. And earlier in the day, and a lot of spots, a ½ inch to an inch, right around Plymouth County, Norfolk County, Suffolk County. And on Cape Cod, one amount stands out, Barnstable, 0.5 inches in a thunderstorm that just formed and sat there over Barnstable for a few minutes. And Steve Turnblom actually got a picture of that storm over the middle of Cape Cod, sort of like a Route 6 cloud, but not quite yesterday. We had a very slow-moving front that broke the heat. Yesterday was day 5 of the heat wave in Concord, New Hampshire, in many spots. 90 degrees yesterday, just barely 90. And this cooler air that's coming in now is not really, it's just a low-level inversion type chill coming in off the ocean. We're still in a very warm air mass. We're still going to be in the 80s in parts of New England today. And my rain gauge, very difficult to read, 0.65. So I got 0.65, but when it was coming down at the rate of more than 3 inches an hour for a few minutes, and this is what it looked like. We call it a gully washer out in the front. And fortunately, it's stopped before it started flooding inside of our house. So we got that going for us. I don't think we flooded. But the storm reports, though, yesterday, a couple of reports of wind damage and wind gusts in Maine and New Hampshire near the seacoast, and then where the storm just stalled south of us, you had the hail in Abington, was it? Abington, 1.5 inch diameter hail, and you had the streets flooded, and Walpole, and I can't remember, Rockland, and some tree damage, all very close to us. And we saw that in our backyard. There was just this thunderstorm just sat there with lightning and lightning and lightning. And I'm going to show a lot of time lapse. This edit's probably coming out really late today because I get so many time lapse and so much action yesterday, and so hard to make a forecast when you're doing all this other and more. Looking at Mitt looking so handsome. It's good to have you with us, Mitt, because half the people don't even care about the weather. They just want to see the animals. And I'm going to sit down. T-Rex. What does it smell like? The ocean? T-Rex? The wind from the northeast here is going to switch around, come back from the south gradually as the weekend goes on, and these clouds that are in our sky are going to go away. I'll still use the Manchester meteogram for the forecast, and it shows about 84 or 85 in Manchester today. Most of New England's having a mostly sunny, very nice day, and the wind here in the coastal region should give way to sunshine and less wind, and so it does turn into beach weather, although probably some nice kiteboarding going on right now. Oh, the Manchester shows the temperature going back up into the low 90s on Sunday. Low 90s with the dew point coming back up into the 60s. So maybe your air conditioner is off for a time, but it probably comes back on, especially Sunday before our heat-breaking front comes in. And then we are in a stretch of pretty nice, refreshing air from Canada with temperatures, probably some smoke too. Temperatures mostly in the 70s with a dew point not quite in the 30s like it showed yesterday, but a dew point in the 40s means that at night temperature will cool off into the 40s and 50s for low temperatures next week, with another front that comes in here Sunday. An even stronger high pressure system from Canada is going to come in. And these highs from Canada, they've been bringing us these refreshing air masses, and on the boundary on the way in with the high pressure and the way out, we've had these pretty heavy rains, but it's been not widespread rains. Last time I had 0.6 inches of my gauge was August 1st. So weather comes in waves. It was a very chilly start to August. Then it was very hot, and we are in the hottest stretch of weather of the year. We're just getting a day off from it right now. But when you add up the last 5 days and the next 10 days, I think it's going to turn out to be the hottest of 2025. So we're going to have a lot of action. So we should shift gears now to the tropics and look at just about hurricane, probably by now, is Hurricane Erin. It was a tropical storm with 70-mile-an-hour winds, the 5 a.m. update. That's the most recent one I saw. And it's moving along into a favorable environment for strengthening with plenty of humidity, high sea surface temperatures, and very little wind shear, good venting aloft. So major hurricane forecast in the next 48 hours. And it's going to be a formidable storm that's going to be sending waves and maybe bands of wind and rain to, say, Puerto Rico, the northern Leeward Islands, and the Bahamas. But the core of the Category 3 or 4 hurricane will stay out over the open ocean for the most part, and just bring a lot of surf and a spectacle in the satellite, and the waves at the ocean will be huge spectacle. There's the really wide shot now of the Atlantic Ocean, and it shows a big upper level and low pressure system in the northeast Atlantic over towards Europe. These are the waves of energy we've been watching on the southern side of these high pressure systems, and they've developed. One was Dexter, and then they developed into non-tropical lows. Oh yeah, and there's another one. National Hurricane Center says this storm in the Gulf of Mexico is coming ashore in Texas, may get a name. It's going to dissipate very quickly, but it could become Fernan as it goes ashore near Corpus Christi, Texas, with a lot of rain and some wind there in South Texas. So I'm sure they're going to welcome that rain, and that's going to completely fall apart. But we're going to watch both the track of Erin and what happens on the south side of these high pressure systems. You can get some pretty heavy weather. We've been seeing it over the southeastern United States for days and days and days with every one of these highs that comes in from Canada. And so let's do it again. right after I look over there at Mitt and Steve looking so handsome, and T-Rex. I have my eyes closed. Oh, gull. We break for birds. Nice. I love how they just glide. Look at that in the wind. What is wind? Air moving from high to low pressure. High pressure up there. Wind's coming this way. High pressure on the bottom of the wing supports the flight. And yeah, all right, let's go to the Euro now. 10-day play-by-play. And our high pressure system going over to the north of us now kind of falls right into New England. Tonight should be a beautiful night, late night moon. And oh yes, the kissing conjunction, as Max Dex says, of Jupiter and Venus. If you're up with the sun tomorrow morning, should look very pretty in the eastern sky before the sunrise. And it looks like a very nice Saturday. We're going to be watching a low pressure track to our west and north. A high gets off to our south and east, and there could be a shower or a thunderstorm with kind of a warm front tomorrow afternoon as we go back up to near 90 degrees. And not quite a heat wave, but we're going to still be in the 90s here on Sunday, away from the southwest coast. We may still have an onshore flow from the southeast first thing Sunday before it comes in from the southwest, and this powerful front comes into northern New England on Sunday afternoon with strong thunderstorms, and there's going to be another rainfall lottery, and those showers and storms are going to fall apart over southern New England Sunday night. But then here is another strong high pressure system coming out of Canada, stronger than this one, almost as strong as the one from last week. And that is going to have a boundary off to our south. And we talked about it a couple days ago. It looked like a wave on a front to our south on Monday night into Tuesday. Well, that's further south now, but it looks like almost something tropical trying to develop on the south side of this high. North of Aaron, there may be another tropical system escaping from North Carolina to north of Bermuda before here comes Aaron now on the map. And it's formidable category, maybe 4, maybe 5. I don't know. It's looking like it's going to get down into the 940s in the millibar department. So it's a very strong storm, major hurricane. And I'm going to watch that come up and then start to turn to the east off of North Carolina by several hundred miles. That's safely at sea. And I'm going to stop it here now on Thursday at 8 p.m. This is August 21st, 2 days after the anniversary of Hurricane Bob in 1991. And it's a 943 millibar storm. That's probably close enough that Bermuda gets a hurricane. Otherwise, we get the wind from the east at probably, if this is right, 10 to 20 miles an hour with gigantic ground swell, waves. And I haven't checked the tides or the moon yet, but I think we're going to be approaching a new moon at that time. So that could be of interest at the coast of coastal damage possible if the waves are big enough and the moon is just right. But then let's put it back in motion. That storm is going to zip out across the Atlantic, and no longer does it look like it's going to Norway like we showed a couple days ago. 14-day forecast, what good are they? Looks like it's trying to dissipate somewhere in the North Atlantic. We'll focus more on that as it gets closer. And then there's another cold front coming at us next weekend, but before it gets here, we warm up and it's looking pretty hot next Saturday or so, and 570s coming in, and then another sharp front just to our north on Sunday now. This is Sunday, August 24th at 2 p.m. And the 570 line is across New England. That means it could be near 90 degrees. And there are that orange color there. That's thunderstorm activity across New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine as another huge upper level low in eastern Canada with a lot of cold air and instability. Looking like September there in eastern Canada comes at the northeast here for our last week of August, but it's still August, and after that next cold front goes by in 2 weeks, we'll probably warm it up again. So there's another warm wave, but I doubt there's another heat wave after that. Summer is not over. The weather forecast part of this is over. Mitt, what are you doing? Mitt was just reaching up in the air. You doing some morning calisthenics? And Steve, they were both out here as the thunderstorm approached yesterday. We're going to have a lengthy time lapse of all the action from yesterday evening. It looked like some mammatus upside down cloud at sunset yesterday, and all the action with the big dig and going over to visit OPYC for a minute because I was afraid we weren't going to get any clouds. So I went over there to see if there was a cloud, and there was over Brockton. There was a little downpour. It had nothing to do, though, with the severe weather event that came across Boston Harbor last evening. What a front. And we had the cushions blowing up and around, and the wind gusted past 40 miles per hour, and the temperature actually went from about 85 to 70, and then it kind of calmed down at the very end. And now we have this really refreshing air. These clouds are evaporating, and I am going to edit for hours and hours, which now that you're seeing it published was hours ago on a very, busy Friday. Out a different door tomorrow morning. Sleepy's in his eyes, but he loves sitting here in this beautiful lawn we have, isn't it? At least it got watered. All right, here's the very busy and more from our regularly scheduled Thursday front. 9 a.m. Thursday, August 14th. The Weymouth Big Dig time lapse per requests, viewer requests. 40 minutes. I was kind of hoping the concrete truck would show up so we could get some concrete, but doing a tremendous job there. Loose. And then I charge the phone a little and come back when the concrete gets here. All right, we've got some more action. Loose just took off with the excavator parked over there. Concrete is here, so let me grab the tripod and let's do this again. All right, 10:22 a.m. We'll widen it out. Watch the praying mantis-like boom fill all that base area and the side forms. It's going to take several truckloads of concrete, I believe. See how long we can run this. I don't know how much of a time lapse we got because I came out and the camera was just kind of sitting there. Screen lock. I think that it got too hot and shut itself down. Oh, hummingbird, hummingbird. Oh, they move so fast. It was a green hummingbird. I break for hummingbirds indeed. And here comes a new load of concrete. I don't know, kind of time lapsed out. I've been editing for like the last 2 hours. Yesterday's video. Even though it's fascinating. Hopefully I get a little of that time lapse before I shut down. Leveling the last pour right there, you can see needs a few more inches. Rebar's exposed. And that part all down there has been poured for the day. And they're going to cover it up with a burlap. Went down the, hey, nice. They practice that, don't they? Cover that up with a burlap and put water on it until cool it as it sits up. There's the burlap there. Loose over there. Rebuilding this road or something. Leveling out the beach. T-Rex is doing his sun dog thing. He's a dog that likes the sun. It's hot. Oh, look at this. Front right over our head. Didn't even notice it. All right. Bring on a downpour for TK's garden. And the man that operates the boom right there, he's got his control at his belt. We're ready to go with another load. So I think they've got enough at the ground level. Now we're going to go up on the sides next. Giano just rebuilt that road in the last 15 minutes that I've been looking at my phone indoors. I think I might be done with the time lapse for today. Did I say done with time lapse? No, I said take a break. All right, break's over. I want to see this next phase. It's going to be quite memorable for the residents here in our neighborhood. How these forms are going to end up does have an impact on our life here on the hill above the Weymouth Big Dig. So I'm going to watch some more. Just widen it out. I almost want to get the sky now too, because there are showers and thunderstorms developing. One up over Lake Winnipesaukee, another down around just north of Buzzards Bay, just north of you, Kate, in Dartmouth. So let's get the sky and the boom and continue it on here at 12:30. All right, about 1 hour in. How's the sky doing? Form guys are doing great. Mass concrete. This is the third concrete load of the day. Much appreciated, you guys. It's another hour time lapse, so I'm gonna give it a break now. Or am I? Do I have enough energy to keep watching all of this in the sky? Northeast here in the ground, then from the north up higher, and then a calm spot, and then the wind from the west way up higher than that. So the cumulus go up, but they don't stay up. Not here anyway, but there are downpours over South Dennis right now, and there are downpours up around Lake Winnipesaukee and Freiburg, and Concord, New Hampshire is 90 degrees, so that makes it day 5 of a heat wave in New England. Maybe good pouring on a day like today, but you want it to cool off for it to set up. So I'm sure that we're going to cover that with the wet burlap. Thank you guys so much. More and more and more. Give the phone a break. Wait to see if any of these showers or storms form closer to us. Look at this air from the northeast in the low 80s. Boston with air from the northeast is 82 degrees. How's that again, Steve? You just reached right up there. They want to go out and see what's going on out here. The lens is kind of fogged up. Yeah. I know, Rex. Lens is fogged. Oh, wow. Look at that. There's a storm that just went off Old Orchard Beach in Maine. Time lapse here, shared by Charlie Lopresti. So we're looking way up to the coast of Maine, where the cumulus reached up and did a fine job producing a rainfall lottery payday. Meanwhile, as you get closer to home, they're trying up over Boston, but they're reaching a dry air layer or something. This huge tanker goes by, and we're not done with the cumulus yet for today. Still have several hours of heating. Cleaned off my lens. Better view. That storm going off of Maine. Tanker going off of Quincy. Steve going off without his leash. And there's another one. Tanker, that is. And thunderstorm. This one's going off Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Ross Budd, are you there? Are you getting me a video? So New Hampshire now, seacoast getting into the act. Another look at that system coming across. It looks like Ross Budd right underneath it there around Portsmouth, New Hampshire. That's a towering cumulonimbus, and this is a towering tanker. Although laid on its side, a little less impressive. Winthrop, tanker, Boston, sunshine, birds on a beach. Cumulus reaching up. Will we get some raindrops? I don't know. Subsidence over to ocean, blue sky. Dog getting out of the water. Never see T-Rex do that. 5-5. Green Day, Woodstock 94, Mudstock. Just thinking about that. Woodstock 1994, really. Green Day seems like the new band. Yeah, new 31 years ago. What is time? T-I-M with an E. Time has changed. Finally made it up the hill. Still beautiful view of the TCU reaching up into the sky well to our north. Subsidence off to the east, but I still cannot get a good view towards the south and southwest. There's only one place you can go for that around here, and that would be OPYC. I mean the secret knock. I think there's a view behind that tree. So there's the view up towards Portsmouth with that storm going offshore with a special marine warning on the New Hampshire seacoast. Now we're looking towards the south, southeast, now south, southwest. And right over Brockton, it looks like we have a little action. Looks like some maybe 10 raindrops reaching from the middle of that cloud. Incidentally, it's always freezing at the tops of these clouds, so there's some ice up there, but not making hail with this one. This one looks like it's lower than 1.5 miles tall, and a little precipitation coming out of that one, but just a little. Hey, and we managed to get the jet stream in here. 6 p.m. Can we call it a day? T-Rex, you all set? Oh, hey, Mitt's here. We got a Mitt sighting. Mitt's out the door. T-Rex is out the door. Anyone else? Steve, out the door. Rex, I guess you had to go, huh? Oh boy, here we go. Another one getting closer. Oh, there's a rain shaft coming down just north of Boston. Oh boy. I will not make another time lapse. I will not make another time lapse. I will not make another time lapse. Oh, we gotta make another time lapse. I'm a glutton for editing punishment. That one stretches from off New Hampshire right to the North Shore of Massachusetts. I'm gonna have to do a really wide angle if I do another one. Yeah, Tim, if. And the pets. Is Mitt going right over to Mitt's patio? Mitt's going to Mitt's patio. First he's got to shake his mitts. By popular demand, a cat, and by not a popular demand, another time lapse. 6:07 p.m. in the sun. Our thermometer says 93 degrees, but it's not really 93. And we had last Thursday off from a front, but we're back to our regularly scheduled Thursday fronts already in progress. Goodness gracious. Look at that downpour just evolving just north of Boston. There's kind of an outflow boundary. And then just a shelf cloud coming down off Cape Ann toward Hull. I want them both, but I can't focus in both directions, so I'm gonna widen it back out and keep on going. It's sort of a shelf cloud coming out here. It's almost a meso low on a front with the wind from the north here in Boston, or just shifted and came in from the north, and the wind from the south in Brockton. Flying around now. How do you like that, Steve? It's dust without the rain right now. Look at that. Things are flying. Doesn't know which way to look with his time lapse. I don't know. Is it going to rain here? I think it's going to rain a little. The rain is always heavier behind this cloud and the wind. Alright, so I'm just going to kind of point it in this direction. There's a special marine warning just east of Boston. Oh, is it going to blow over? I'm sorry. Shoot. What a lot of editing I'm leaving myself for my Friday. Let's get Steve in there. Lawnmower. I was just going to start mowing the lawn. Looks like we're going to get poured on. Maybe I should finish this from inside. You guys want to go inside? Mitt, never in a hurry. I'm going in. I'll be right back to get you. I am just a glutton for editing punishment. Every time I move the camera, it's another 20 minutes worth of edit, but I can't stop, won't stop. More and more and more. And the sun is out. Let's go back outside and check this out. Let's go check the rain gauge. Are you ready? Should we go back out? Will the camera survive? This is just amazing. So I grabbed some satellite imagery and some radar imagery. Here's a satellite that just one cloud right over Boston. It was 44,000 feet tall, or is. And we did get a severe thunderstorm warning out of this. And also the radar. If you zoom in on the radar, well, here's the wide view of the eastern United States, and then you zoom in on Boston, and it was pretty much the heaviest rain in the eastern United States, if not the entire country here for the last 20 minutes or so. I guess I should let it finish raining before I go and check the gauge. Probably a huge rainbow right now. All right, I think it's safe to take the camera out now. This is going to be an incredible sunset. Should be a gigantic rainbow forming. Oh. All right, still raining, and here comes the sun. Raindrops are just about done.
Showing the road a little bit. Camera's past its tripod. Check that. Gauge.
Clean, crisp. Let's widen this out a little bit. Gorgeous feel. Can we open the windows? I think it's gonna get warmer again. Here's this rain gauge, which, even though it's not really very old, the numbers don't last that long on these. Like about a 0.67, 0.66, somewhere in there. 2/3 of an inch. I think that's it for the day, but you're supposed to read it in the morning, right? Yeah, right. Tomatoes taller than me. I'm gonna work on those a little more. I'm gonna mow the lawn. Yeah, day's not done. Rainbow, very faint, but existent. Just not the right angle. If it were a month ago, there'd be a better rainbow. The sun would be further north, so let's just let this go. The gendarmes down here have been on patrol through the storm, keeping us safe. I think that's what you were doing. And now for real. Play it out with music and time lapses. Oh, so many time lapses. Including the entire day at the end. Another long morning of editing. Somebody stop me. Can you hear the drums? Van Halen. I'll stop when it stops being gorgeous. Gotta interrupt for a second. Not mamadas. I don't think. That's still some, I can't tell whether that cloud is forming upward or downward or both. Oh gosh. Somebody stop me, please. All right, almost there. I am mowing, and it is so gorgeous. It's like the orange hour. Orange is my favorite color. Aren't you glad you kept watching? Aren't you glad it's almost over? Yeah. Mowing. Whatever that mamadas thing is, or whatever. The sun's not hitting it anymore, but the lightning just will not quit. thinking somewhere around Hanover, somewhere in there. Must be getting flooding there. I haven't looked at any radar in an hour, but it seems like that thing stalled. Oh, did someone say something about being done editing? Shooting? I don't have a good view, but you can see. Oh, darn. Just can't see toward the southwest from around here. It's coming down all around both our houses. I mean, not near our houses, but above the roof is how it appears. Yeah, I'm done all right, sure.